From LALATE News Headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a huge morning of Mornings LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check starting in the month of July. In this recording, we go over the incredible breaking news. Not one, but 5 to 6 breaking news stories in just the last few hours that are absolutely incredible about your fourth stimulus check. That's that monthly stimulus check that starts in the middle of July. Your biggest single payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. In this recording, we'll go over how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and what this breaking news is. Then the second half of this recording, we go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. And for the first time ever, I'm going to compare it versus the Warren plan and show you how this is a lot more money. And then in the middle of this recording, we go over thousands of dollars landing in your bank account right now. And for the first time on Mornings LA, I have a tracker for you to track some of that money. It's a great morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. I'm excited for this new day. I'm excited for the new morning. Let's get to it. This is Mornings LA. Doing? You're almost halfway through the week, almost to the weekend and the big holiday weekend. How are you? Hope you're having a beautiful morning. How's the weather where you are? Tell me if you're watching live or taped, where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. It is getting very warm very quickly here in Southern California. In Santa Monica, it is very sunny right now and it is heating up very quickly. So I love to hear how the weather is where you are. In this recording, we're going to go over the fourth stimulus check and not one, but 6 major breaking news stories, some happening late yesterday, that are absolutely incredible. It's just a snowball of great news. I'm going to go over all the incredible news about that monthly stimulus check. Then in the second half of this recording, we're going to go over fifth stimulus, that SSI reform. And for the first time on Mornings LA, I'm going to compare it versus the Warren plan. Spoiler, it's a lot better. And then in the middle of this recording, we're going to go over some of the automatic money you're getting. And also for the first time on Mornings LA, you're going to see a new tracker tool you can track the money landing to you. How are you? This is Mornings LA, and this is LA. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the only financial news channel that is broadcasting literally every hour, 7 days a week. Mornings are live, afternoons are taped. I'm next with you on Mornings Crypto at 9:30 a.m. right after the show without a break. And then we go into noontime, home at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. Then we go into Afternoons LA. So make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, a YouTube record. Next stop, 1 million. So subscribe. Also like this video and consider becoming a member. Later in this video, you'll learn about why membership's so important with no less than 3 stimulus packages happening at the same time. Let's get to the exciting great news about fourth stimulus, starting with the 2 bills. Fourth stimulus has a House bill, and that House bill was written by a name you need to remember, Jalapal. Jalapal wrote the House bill, which provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year, a monthly stimulus check. If you're on the live chat just after 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 12 noon, jump into the live chat and vote House or Senate, but not just yet. And if you're watching this taped, also get ready to vote. So Jalapal's bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year monthly. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. But which one is better of the two? Let's look at the monthly amounts. So Jalapal's bill provides a stimulus check of $2,000 the first month and then $1,000 thereafter. The Senate amount is unknown, but word on the street is the Senate amount per person is this. Wow, incredible great news. That's $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. This is per person. Now, before you vote, let's look back at something that's impacting Jalapal's bill. Jalapal's bill is pandemic plus 1 year, but insiders believe that the pandemic may be over for legislative purposes by the time the bill vote occurs. That means there would be only 12 months of checks under Jalapal's bill, not pandemic plus 1 year, but just 1 year. And 12 months of checks means $13,000 under Jalapal's House bill, compared to the Senate proposal, which could potentially be the same amount in half the amount of time. So with that, jump into the live chat. If you're watching this tape, drop into the comments, House or Senate, which one do you like? And also explain why you like that one. Of course, say where you're watching and how's the weather. Ironically, the splits, the viewers are still split, almost 50-50. So fascinating on people's positions. Love to hear your position. Always keep it positive and motivated. All right, let's go over the incredible other details about fourth stimulus. That's such great news. First, who's going to get it? You are going to get it. So if you got the third stimulus check, you're going to get the fourth stimulus check. Single individuals, $75,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. Family of four, household of four, you get the fourth stimulus check. And yes, if there is four, you quadruple it. If it's a family of six, two will not get the stimulus check. It's cut out at four. And then beneficiaries, yes, you get it. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. When would the vote be? Remember, I'm just a reporter. I report the news. I'm not a legislator. They make the representations, not me. They represent the vote would be in the month of July. That means that the first check would be in the month of July for the month of July. In the month of August for the month of August. Moreover, there would be no waves of stimulus checks. They don't have time to do it. Is there a different stimulus check amount for different people? No. Great news. So adult dependents, children, everyone else, the same stimulus check amount. Awesome. It is not taxable, so it is not income. And we don't know anything about child support. And this is being done by a two-bill, two-step, two-month process already underway called a reconciliation. More about that in a second, but that's your fourth stimulus check update. And boy, I got 6 breaking news stories, three that happened late yesterday. I'm really excited to give you the detail and that breaking news. It's snowballing. It's incredible. But more about that in a second. Let me cut to fifth stimulus, give you a preview of the second half of this recording. In the second half of this recording, we're going to go over fifth stimulus that'll raise your benefits up if you're on benefits. Lifetime, a big one-time raise up. And then apply a new benchmark. That benchmark will be inflation. We all know what inflation is. But how much will the inflation rate be when they raise your benefits up based upon inflation? I have new economic data about that coming up in the second half of the recording, so stay with me. But now let's get to that tens of thousands of dollars that viewers are getting daily from this channel, and I want you to be next if you haven't gotten it. So first, grab a pen and paper. Stay with me. Stay to the very end of this recording because I got 1,000 items of money I want you to get, and I want you to stay to the very end. And we're going to go over a lot of money available for you, so get that pen and paper ready. First, we're going to start with $350 billion that is being sent to your cities, counties, and states from third stimulus. Yeah, the prior stimulus package. When it was passed, I said it's going to land. It's now landing. It's landing next week. It's landing your city, county, and state. And what is it? It's rent, renters' utilities, homeowners' mortgage help, and homeowners' utilities help. And it's landing in 6 different places, which is important for you to understand that every place has different eligibility. So if you get a no, go to the next one because you may get a yes. And it's incredible, great news. And rent starts with $5,000 of rent approximately, 46 months of rent for single people, a couple $100, a couple $1,000 for utilities, homeowners assistance. And let's start with that money right now. How do you get it? 6 places. Get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. The key words you're going to use when looking for it is rent assistance because of COVID. Rent assistance because of COVID. You do not use the word stimulus. You can use the word Biden Economic Recovery Act. And I had one viewer yesterday, I think his name is Simon. He got money for rent. So I'm very, very excited for him. I do not go a single day with a viewer saying I got money for rent or SNAP. And it really is just exciting. Even if it's a couple $100 or if it's a couple $1,000, it means that people watch these videos and then go get the money, and it empowers them to find the money. And I want you to be next. Which turns me now to SNAP. Oh boy. SNAP is incredible, great news. It's been a big success story. And SNAP is SNAP doesn't end with the pandemic. SNAP continues. How much is SNAP and what is SNAP? SNAP is money for food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Call up Department of Agriculture or call 211 and ask for Department of Agriculture. And how much does it pay? a family of four in Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 over a year. It's incredible, great news. Why is it so much money? Because of two executive orders, Biden and Trump, which raised everyone's SNAP up 15% between now and December. So go get it. It's just great. I'm so encouraged when I hear people have these incredible success stories. And if you have a success story, if it's just a couple $100 or if it's a couple $1,000, drop in the comments. If you're watching a tape, drop it in the live chat, send me a DM. I just love hearing it. And go get it. And there we are, 10 minutes of this video, $5,000 for rent, $16,000 for SNAP, and we aren't done. We're going to get to some free money starting right now. I am really excited for free money because why? It's free. You don't have to do anything for it. It's coming from two locations. We're going to go over each one of them at a time. First, the money from your state. Wow. One viewer got $5,000 for it. I'm going to go over how much it is, then how you get it, and then when you get it. How much is it, and what is it? The federal government has identified some states that overpaid unemployment benefits to you due to a computer malfeasance and then told you to return the money, which you did. The federal government said that was a mistake by the states. You, the citizens, should have been allowed to keep the money and has now ordered the federal government to return the money to you. Wow. So these are thousands of dollars that you may have had to return to no fault of your own. It's now coming back to you. Second, how are you going to get it? On the count that you have on file with your unemployment department. Finally, when? Every state's routing time is different, so reach out to your respective state. They'll be able to tell you. Which brings me to the second big money. And for the first time on Mornings LALATE, I'm going to give you a tracker on this one. Yes, so get that pen and paper ready about this tracker information. This is money from the federal government, IRS, and I had one viewer get $2,000. I have a lot of you getting this money. So this is the money you paid on your taxes to IRS for unemployment. It's now coming back. I'm going to go over how much it is, how you're going to get it, and then when you get it. And then I'll include that tracker information hearing for the first time on Mornings LALATE. All right, first, how much money is it? It's a fortune. One viewer got $2,000. Let me go over the example. You had $9,000 of unemployment in 2020. You filed a 2020 tax return of IRS. Your total tax bill was $5,000, of which $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment benefits. Congratulations. You're getting back $4,000 from IRS. Great news. Next, how? How is in an envelope. And last night's shows, I went over excruciating detail about how to be careful to not miss this envelope. It's in the mail. It's laser thin. It's a beige or white envelope from IRS to Treasury with a beige check in there. I don't want you to throw away the mail. Don't throw away that envelope. Watch last night's shows if you didn't see those details. It's an envelope. The only case in which it's not in an envelope is if your 2020 return had direct deposit on it. So watch that mail. Finally, when? When is very important. There's 3 phases. All 3 phases are paid by the end of May. But understand, you're not going to physically receive it by the end of May. You may receive it the first week of June. That's why I want you to watch the mail razor thin, surgically, every single day until you get that check. Phase 1 are single filers. Non-complicated returns, no dependents. They were sent out last week. Phase 2 was sent out the end of last week, start of this week. These are single filers with more complicated returns. Phase 3 are joint filers, like husband and wife. They're being sent out the end of this week. Now, when I mean sent out, does not mean you receive it. I mean, you could receive it about a week later. All right, now for the first time ever on Mornings LALATE is a tracker trick. The trick is not unique or new to this channel, but it is unique in the context of this discussion. It's called the IRS transcript trick. If you want to know where or when that refund was sent to you, go to irs.gov, set up a username and password with your social security number, and in there you can request a transcript from inside the website. It'll generate any activity on your social security number back over the last few years. It'll show your last stimulus check. It'll show the prior stimulus check. And if that refund check has been issued, it'll show the refund check has been issued. And it'll show you when it's coming. So there you go, irs.gov. Go in there, set up a username, password, your social security number, and then do a transcript search. Which brings us to the incredible great news about forced stimulus. I'm really excited for you. And it's not just one, it's It's 6 stories in just a short period of a few days and hours. It is snowballed, people. It is really snowballed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go chronologically in order so you see how quickly it snowballed with no less than 3 major stories late yesterday. I'm really excited for you. So let's start with the first story, which is Jalapal. Jalapal, of course, is that House member who wrote the fourth multiple stimulus check bill and introduced it to the House floor. When Jalapal did, a series of 100 plus House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, we're going to put multiple stimulus checks into the fourth stimulus package from Jalapal's bill when we write the bill. Remember, they're legislators, they write the bill. Senators did the same thing and said, if the House members don't take care of it, we'll take care of it during the vote-a-rama, the final 2 days when the bill is in the Senate. Well, guess what Jalapal did just days ago? Jalapal wrote a letter to Leader Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Pelosi, and said, call the vote. What are we waiting for? Call the vote. Wow. So why did Jalapal write this letter? Because the reconciliation bills have ostensibly been written, they have told us, and they're just waiting to call the vote. There's no reason to wait around any longer, says Jalapal. And guess what? If that couldn't get any better, the letter is co-signed by dozens of House members who also signed Jalapal's bill to give you multiple stimulus checks. Wow. Okay. Then we got to this letter on Friday. And this letter was written by 7 members of the House to the president. And the message said, we're going to work with you to put in multiple monthly stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. Now, work with you is a euphemism because the president doesn't write legislation. He just proposes it. The House and the Senate writes the actual bills. And so it's a euphemism, meaning they're going to put the multiple stimulus checks in there. Well, how can they? Who are these? Who are these people? These are the people who actually write the stimulus check sections of bills in the House. Oh my goodness. These are the members of the House Ways and Means Committee who are specifically the subcommittee that deals with writing stimulus checks under the first, second, third, and now fourth stimulus package. Yes, it's actually their subcommittee that actually does it. And of a very small subcommittee, 7 of them Democrats wrote the president saying, we're going to put it in there with you together. My goodness. Is Captain Obvious walking through the set yet? Is he behind me? Look, oh my goodness. And then it got even better. It got better when on Friday, the President of the United States said, you know what, on my fourth stimulus package, I'm going to counter offer with the Republicans. I'll come down $600 billion by putting that $600 billion in another bill. It's already there. So ostensibly, I haven't come down a penny. What did he do? He basically didn't move a penny or move any substantively on his bill, keeping the same position he's had since day one. Why? Because the Republicans have been the same since day one at $500 billion. They've not come up a dollar. The president has told his legislators that come this Friday, it's done. He's not going to have any more bipartisan negotiations with Republicans because they haven't come up a dollar and he hasn't come up a dollar. He'll continue to have his lunch meetings every day with the Republicans to the end of Friday. Chicken? No, it was actually quite good. I like salmon tomorrow. Okay, do you have any more money? No, I don't. Okay, see you tomorrow. Pizza? Maybe fish. And he's going to do that all the way till Friday. And then he's done. He said he's not going to do this anymore. Then the vote will start. Wow. And as Jalapal said, just start the vote. But then late yesterday, 2 more breaking news stories happened from the president. The second one shocked me, and I rarely get shocked. The first one was wow, but the second one's a shocker. And they're a little bit complicated, so I'm going to slow it down. The president is funding the fourth stimulus with raising the corporate tax rate. It's currently 21%. The president wanted 28, 29%. The moderate Democrats wanted 25. He said, deal. And I detailed that several weeks ago. Deal, meaning we're done. Well, guess what? The president was also at the same time speaking to leaders of other countries around the world about raising the global minimum corporate tax rate. What's the global minimum corporate tax rate? It refers to if a corporation here in California doesn't like the corporate tax rate going from 21 to 25% and moves its operations to France so that it doesn't have to pay these higher corporate tax rates. Well, the great news on Friday was the president has now reportedly almost gotten the G7 countries to agree to a new global tax rate, which will cure that problem. 15%. This is incredible, great news. But The big shocker was the second item of great news. This is the one that gave me, that I was just speechless when I saw it. That if the G7 countries do agree to a 15% global tax rate, and we're at 25% under the fourth stimulus, the president may thereafter, after the stimulus checks are sent out, drop the U.S. corporate tax rate back down to where it is to be competitive internationally. If the global tax rate is 15%, we'll go back down to 21% later this year. Oh my goodness. This is getting really, really good. In the second half of this recording, I'm going to go over more about what's going on in the fourth stimulus, and I'll go over what's happening in the fifth stimulus. And for the first time on Mornings LALATE, I'll be comparing and contrasting it with sort of Elizabeth Warren's plan. Spoiler alert, it's better fifth stimulus. But first, if you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage, help, or homeowners' utilities, reach out to the volunteers. They're salt of the earth. They're viewers just like you. They step forward to help you get this money if you can't find the money yourself. First, look to see if you can find it yourself. And if you can't, then reach out to them. Where are they? They're in the description to this video. Open the description and then look down for an emoji of a house. Next to the house says community page. It sends you to a link to the web page news.lalate.com/community. On there is a series of volunteers under a picture of some cats. Reach out to the volunteers. They can help you with rent, utilities, and homeowners help. I'll be back in 60 seconds with more exciting great news about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus. Be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings LALATE. And boy, during the commercial break, Marjorie Mosser said, single mommy of 4, thank you, LALATE. I got $9,000 for rent assistance and $1,500 for electric for COVID relief. Thank you so very much. I love that. Another viewer who used the information of this channel to get empowered and get some relief. I'm excited for her, and I want you to be next. So subscribe. This is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel. I'm next live with you in just 5 minutes from now with Mornings Crypto, with breaking news about why those 2 crashes happened last week. We have new data we never knew before. You need to watch that video. It is a shocker coming up right after this one. And then at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is noontime LA. Wow. So make sure you subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. Next stop, 1 million. Also, like this video and consider becoming a member. In the second half of this video, you can understand why membership is very important. All right, let's turn to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus is heating up this fall, and fifth stimulus is absolutely incredible. Fifth stimulus raises up your SSI and SSDI benefits, but more about that in a second. Let's broadly go over it. First, they'll raise your benefit limits. Then they will remove the asset limits. They'll add an inflationary benchmark. And then they'll remove the income exclusion and then remove the marriage penalty. All right, let me go over the breaking news and let me explain to you how this all plays out. And for the first time in noontime, I'm going to compare it against the Warren plan. All right. First, who is this for? It's for you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, or multiple benefits they represent, the legislators are going to raise your benefits up one time to a big new number. That's the first step. Step two is they're going to apply a benchmark, and that new benchmark will be inflation. What's a benchmark? Every December, you get a letter saying, next year your benefits are flat, they're not going to change, or next year your benefits are going to go up a certain amount of money based upon the benchmark. This new benchmark will be inflation. We all know what inflation is. That's easy breezy. But what will be the inflation rate in December? Well, this could be singly the biggest year for inflation in 2 generations. And why is this so great for you? Because your benefits will be raised up. And once they're raised up, that's your plus up rate for the lifetime of you are. So you'll never step down. Even if inflation goes down in the next few years, your benefits will be at that higher rate. So here's an example. Let's say inflation is 6% in December. Then your benefits will be raised in the fifth stimulus, of course. And then they'll raise them up 6% in January. Incredible, great news. And then if next year it's 0% inflation, your benefits will always be plus 6%. Wow. We're trying to find the inflationary rate, and Jeremy Siegel a week ago said that maybe the inflation rate will be 30% in December. Maybe it won't. 20% in December. Maybe it won't. But the head of the Federal Reserve out of Georgia said the growth rate could go from 4 to 10.5%. Wow. That sounds like 5-6% inflation. And then Friday and yesterday, a lot of analysts said we could see 4-6-7% inflation in December. Wow, really incredible, great news. Next, under fifth stimulus, they're going to then they're going to get rid of the asset cap. The asset cap is dating back to a 1980s law. It's going to go away. So just in time for you to get those stimulus checks and put them in the bank. Then they're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and also stay on benefits. Now you'll be able to work if you want to, $1,000, $2,000 a month, and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty. Oh, it's horrible. It will go away. So if you want to marry your lifetime love interest, you will be able to and not lose benefits. Wow, incredible, great news. Love will win, and you'll be able to marry and not lose benefits. And if you are married, you will no longer suffer from the marriage penalty. So for the first time on Mornings LA, I'm going to compare this against the Warren plan. How do they line up? This one is a fortune more money. Why? Because Warren was not going to give you inflation as your benchmark. And inflation is the number that is going to be very high this year. And so by tying you to inflation, you'll be stepped up additionally lifetime. Moreover, the Warren plan did not provide you the marriage penalty removal or the income removal or the asset removal. So this is a fortune more money. Now, it's important to understand that fifth stimulus has a lot of other items in there besides SSI reform. And in a 30-minute video, which is currently 27 minutes, I don't have enough time to go over everything else in fifth stimulus. That's why membership is helpful. Membership is to become a member. The link's at the top of the chat and also the pinned comment. As a member, you get access to the third stimulus, the fourth stimulus, and the fifth stimulus. In the fifth stimulus, there is money for single individuals. There's money for hazard pay. There is money for seniors, for seniors and medical. And while the president may call the fifth stimulus the Families Act, there's actually a lot of stuff that's not in there. That's not for families, for single people, for seniors. And that's why it's helpful to have the fifth stimulus items as a member. It's also really important to have the fifth stimulus items for a member because the month of July is getting very crowded with a lot of stimulus packages overlapping. As I told you in this recording, Leader Schumer and Nancy Pelosi represent the vote will be no later, could be earlier, but no later than July 4th for the fourth stimulus chat package. That means that the fourth stimulus checks will land in the month of July. Fourth stimulus checks will land in the month of July at the same time that the third stimulus checks for the children land in the month of July. At the same time that July has a budget bill that has nothing to do with stimulus check being called for a vote. So there's a lot of things happening at the same time. And it's important to see what's in third stimulus, some of the stuff I haven't had time to cover in this video, what's in fourth stimulus, also stuff that I don't have time to cover in this video, and what's in fifth stimulus. All right, let's circle back now to the incredible great news about what else is in fourth stimulus, with a real shocker of a surprise. First, fourth stimulus will not have any more money for rent or homeowners assistance or utilities, the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance is going away. And while stimulus checks will be in there, what will be the potential other surprise to be added? Those 7 Democrats from the House Ways and Means Committee who wrote the president, who oversees both stimulus checks and unemployment, yes, wrote the president saying, we're going to be working with you for extending federal unemployment under forced stimulus. This was another surprise that I did not see coming. And I have no idea which federal stimulus items they want to extend. It could be PEUC. It could be PUA. It could be the current voluntary FPUC, which has been very controversial, or it could change the language of them. I'll be tracking this with you as well. It's a very fluid situation. But for now, the real exciting great news is that legislators are pushing for the vote sooner than later. And one of the messages I delivered earlier last week was that these legislators don't want to stay in town in July. They rather get this done in June. So get it done, as Jalapal said. Call the vote. What are we waiting for? And what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now. I want you part of this channel. Like this video. Consider becoming a member. The link's at the top of the chat and the pinned comment, so you know what's in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Also, join me in just 5 minutes from now for breaking news about why there were 2 market crashes last week on crypto. It is something you have never heard before, and you're hearing for the first time, and you need to know it because it could signal a 4th crash and a 3rd crash. Stay with me. That's coming up in 5 minutes from now, live mornings crypto, and then 11 a.m. for mornings for noontime LA. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay LA.